Hi guys, Beth here, aka Mediagirl94. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another manga haul monthly wrap-up collection video. At this point, it's literally just, if you check out the title, it's probably going to say March Manga Haul. Shock horror. Anyway, yeah, this is a manga haul. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the manga I bought the month of March. I know what you're thinking, Beth, we're like 2 weeks into April. Which means you're probably going to get my April haul 2 weeks into May. I know I used to do these towards the end of the month, of each month. However, as you saw, Tokyo Revengers was in here, and the final volume came out pretty much the last day of March. And so I didn't actually get my hands on it physically until April. And so I thought, I don't really want to put it in the April haul because technically I did buy it in March. So that's why, you know, this haul is in a couple of weeks into April, but it's still my March manga haul. Before we begin, if you'd like to support me and the channel in the future, you can by clicking a like to show me some love. You can click subscribe and tap that bell to be notified of when I upload on this channel. I love how I'm trying to defend myself, because I did get that Tokyo Revengers volume the first week of April. I've just been in a really weird headspace mentally, where I just haven't felt motivated to upload anything on both my YouTube channels. But I have days where I just feel yeah, and then I have days where I feel oh. So I've read a lot more manga, I've played a lot more video games, and I feel like I'm in a slightly better headspace, so there's the truth. We all have our moments where we just go, oh, I've got no motivation to do anything, but then we have manga and we feel better about ourselves. Yes, so let's just dive straight into my March manga haul. Okay, I've split it into 3 different piles, and we are going to kick off with the BLs, the boy I love. Aww. Because I definitely feel coming off the back of my February manga haul, which was pretty much just straight up BLs, I've got a few more volumes, you know, to add to the mix. First up, we have volume 10 of Sasaki and Miena. I'm trying to figure out which is the best way to put it. This is such, like I said, this is such a cute BL series that I found randomly when I was scrolling through Crunchyroll, and I binged the series that was on there, and I immediately fell in love. It is a slow burn BL. 2 guys, Sasaki and Mieno, and at this stage now, I'm just checking, yeah, because they're kind of out of high school at this point in the series, and they are college. So the fact that the relationship started in Sasaki, his final year of high school, and Miena was his underclassman, and they've still stuck together now that college has started. It is just a whole cute slow burn. It is a very thin volume. That is my only gripe about some of the BLs, is the small volumes and the fact you can't really see. But it's yen press, so it's pretty pricey per volume. But I'm going to continue to support this series because, I need to know. I just want their life through their adult years. So keep writing this series. But yeah, Sasaki and Miena, volume 10. Let's put that down, and let's pick up with the same author and volume 4, Hirano and Kagiura. This is the spin-off from this. Sasaki and Miena, they had a bunch of side characters who were very unique, very interesting. And well, the blonde guy here is Sasaki's best friend, and his love interest is again an underclassman who's into sport, and the underclassman has a massive crush on him, but he's kind of a little bit in denial. Especially after seeing this relationship between his best friend, and I was very surprised when we got a spin-off with these 2 side characters. But I'm very happy because it just shows that the author knows that people were paying attention to the side characters, And the fact that, you know, the side story kind of coincides with this story, what I mean is, like, while these two are having their relationship, these two are also going through the struggles in the background, but it doesn't overtake, and it doesn't take over from this. So they have their own story. Peak, BL, slow burn, drama, love, high school, check it out. But yeah. And the final BL is Minato's Laundromat, Volume 4. This is a cute bit of an age gap. You've got a guy, Minato, he owns like a laundromat, and there's like a guy in like high school who has a little bit of a crush on him, and well, he's kind of dealing with like his own drama from like his own past like bad love interaction. He was in love with a teacher, someone that was older, and it kind of went south. So the fact that you've got like it's happening again with like this high schooler having a crush on him, and he's like, ooh. So there is like a little bit of like an age gap between the two characters, but it's not seedy, it's not like in your face. Like some BLs will be like, okay, consent is not a word, but I feel like this, along with these two, very slow burn and consensual. There is like a lot of talking about their feelings, and I think that's really healthy, and I just really like it, and I just love this cover because the two of them are just so cute together. But yeah, I thought, why not start off my March manga haul with some BLs, because I'm a girl and I need me some BL loving in my life. Oh good god, I'm turning 31. I should not be saying stuff like that. Up next is just, you know, some pickups and like a random buy that I just picked up randomly on the shelf. So we'll start off with volume 6 of Taymon's B-side. For those of you who don't know, this was like a random pickup. I picked up volume 1 randomly. You've literally got like this like Japanese like idol group, and like the main guy, who is so charismatic on screen, is like a bit of like a shy boy in real life, and he's introduced to like a fangirl who cleans his house, and it's not creepy because she brings him out of his shell and kind of goes like, it's alright to be like who you are, you don't have to be that personality on stage. These are like the other members of the group, and yeah, pretty much what I've found so far, at least with like the first 5 volumes, is the interactions between the members and how each member seemingly has a personality that they put on for like the audience and the fans. And then they kind of have a bit of a split personality in real life, and I just think that's like a really interesting outlook, especially with like idol culture in general in Japan and South Korea, how they have like these perfect images on the outside, but at the end of the day they are human, and they might not want to act entirely like they're being told to by their company. And there's just so many like interesting interactions, especially, you know, not just between the main and like his fangirl, but like the other members are like all a little bit wary at the beginning, and then they slowly realise, okay, she's actually doing wonders for him. And there's drama, there's tense, there's comedy, there's like jealousy, there's like a bit of infighting between the members, but she brings them all together. But yeah, a random buy has resulted in me picking up volume 6, so you know this series must be doing something right. Next up is 2 volumes of Love in Focus. We have volume 4 and we have volume 5. Again, kind of like Taymon's B-side, I randomly picked up like volumes 1 and volume 2 because I was doing like a 3 for 2 in like the shop where I buy my manga, Worlds Apart, here in Liverpool. And I believe like I was buying like a Tokyo Revengers omnibus, and I needed like 2 other volumes to get the 3 for 2, and I stumbled upon this randomly. I remember seeing the spine and being like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And literally these are the 2 main like love interests. You have the main boy here with like who looks really rough, who's actually like a cutie. He's a bit of a delinquent, and well, he meets her. She's like visually impaired, and so it's like an interaction of a delinquent and like a really cute like visually impaired like girl who you think are going to have like no interaction, but they kind of bring out the best in one another. Like he starts caring for her, It is a little bit creepy at times, especially in like the first like couple of volumes. I was a bit creeped out at how forward he was with her. However, that does tone down in later volumes, and so like she brings out a side of him, you know, that's caring and thoughtful to those around him. It also has an amazing like side cast with like side characters who I'm like, they just make the story and they just add extra like drama and like comedic value, but the focus is always on these two, but it has a really good supporting cast, and I just think their like friendship, like relationship at times is a little bit too much, but it kind of has toned down like by volume 5, and I'm like, okay, it's just one of those series where if you can look past like the first couple of volumes and kind of continue. So, you know, this is definitely going to be a series I continue because I did have my doubts, but, well, here we are with volume 4 and 5. But yeah, it's cute, not normally a series I would pick up. I also think it's like one of the only series I own, you know, that's got like a main who's like visually impaired or has like a disability. And it is just, oh, it is cuteness overload. Check out Love and Focus. And the last volume of manga that I threw into that pile, this was just like a random buy. I was in Waterstones, I was just browsing the manga, and well, I saw this cover and was like, and next thing I knew, I found myself reaching for it. I read the blurb, I saw the price, $12.99, and thought, and next thing I knew, I was at the till, buying it. And it is volume 1 of Penguin and House. I saw the cute little penguin, like the little derpy penguin, and I was like, oh my god, you are coming home with me. For those of you who don't know, pandas are my favourite animals, but I also like penguins, so a little unknown fact about me. Now, like I said, I just picked this up because I liked the cover, and then I read the blurb and I was like, is this going to be like a fun comedic like slice of life? So I'm going to read the blurb and you guys can make your mind up. Pen, the penguin, so the penguin's called Pen, lives with his most favourite keeper in the world, Hayakawa, the human. But Pen is no ordinary penguin. He's a neat penguin, a proper penguin, a doting penguin. Pen loves the daydream of Hayakawa's smile as he flips pancakes and folds the laundry with his teeny tiny flippers. If only his beloved Hayakawa would notice. It's too bad Pen's human keeper is a hopelessly lazy university student, but with a little nap and some helpful friends, Pen is ready to tackle the day. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a cute slice of life, and any sort of like animal taking on like a human role, kind of like, I'm looking at my shelf just here. You had like Polar Bear Cafe, which I was obsessed with. That was like animals taking on human roles. So you've got the penguin, who is literally doting on his human keeper, who is he's a lazy piece of crap, if I'm being completely honest, at least in volume 1. However, the interactions between the two are really cute, and I'm like, okay, I can see this going somewhere, and I'm unsure, you know, if I'm going to continue buying this series new, or if it's going to be one of those series that if I can get my hands on, you know, like second hand, because like £13 per volume. It is published by Kodansha, and they have definitely upped the prices on their like volumes. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and find out. Yes, I've still got the price tag on, don't judge me. But yeah, this is the issue. I can walk into a shop with no intention of buying any manga and then come out with a random volume. And like I said, we had this with Taymon's B-side. I picked up volume 1 randomly, and now here we are 6 volumes later. But I don't begrudge this because this is $8.99. This is like £13 a volume, so, you know, we'll see where this goes, if I can find this cheaper online. But yeah, our Pen the Penguin, chef's kiss. And the final 3 volumes of manga, which technically they're not like final 3 because they're like omnibuses, so technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 volumes of manga, but 2 of them are in omnibus form. We have Tokyo Revengers and Windbreaker. Sacrilege! I've put Windbreaker and Tokyo Revengers in the same pile. A series about delinquents? but I am old enough to be able to differentiate between the two shows, the two series, so let's just start with the elephant in the room. Windbreaker Volume 9. Because Season 2 of the anime has just started airing on Crunchyroll, and again, this is a series that I actually hadn't heard about until I randomly stumbled upon Season 1 of the anime on Crunchyroll. I was rewatching Season 1 of Tokyo Revengers, and it has like a tab of, oh, if you like this, you should watch this, and well, Windbreaker showed up, and then I did my research, and it turns out the author is a massive fan of like Tokyo Revengers, and this is like Delinquents, but it's like a little bit of a different take because, yeah, sure, there is a high school, and like, the main like gang like Bofferin is in a high school, but they protect like a village or they protect like a few streets, and then you have rival gangs within the same city, but they protect their own like districts, and there's drama, there's tension, there's a lot of fighting. I'm just gonna say this now. Windbreaker. I am obsessed with the side characters, the side cast, and I do agree with what some people are saying online about the main guy, Sakura, is an interesting main character. Ergo, we're like 2 seasons into the anime, we're like 9 volumes into the manga, and I don't really feel like he's had enough like character growth or character development. He's still very like one-minded. This isn't him on the cover, by the way. He was on the cover of Volume 1. But yeah, for me, Windbreaker has an amazing supporting cast. I'm just not really a fan of the lead, but who knows, he might grow on me. As far as I'm aware, in Japan there are currently 21 volumes that have been published, and it's still ongoing. And the fact that in England we're only on Volume 9, which means, oh, my bank account is going to be crying, because now Tokyo Revengers is done, I can obsess over a new series to collect. But yeah, Windbreaker. If you like Tokyo Revengers, check out Windbreaker. There are differences, so you can't really go, you can go in kind of comparing the two, but you know, checking out like the manga and then the anime side by side, there are enough differences that make them both unique, and they can both stand in the Delinquent anime manga Hall of Fame for different reasons. But now on to the final 2 gems of this manga haul, and the 2 volumes in this manga haul that made my bank account cry and weep like a little girl. Firstly, we have the omnibus of volume 27 and 28 of Tokyo Revengers. I am obsessed with these covers. Just look at the artwork. And then you also have like the coloured cover in. Oh, Tokyo Revengers. Like, it's a series that, you know, has been over for a while. Everyone knows the ending. Everyone has their opinion on the ending and how, like, the series wrapped up. And was it the best way to end a series? No. But did it work? Yes. But, you know, like, yeah, this is not the final. Because we have this chunky boy. If you compare the size, these 2 omnibuses, like, side by side. Bearing in mind, most of the Tokyo Revengers omnibuses have been like 2 volumes in one. However, they decided to put 29 to 31 in 1 volume. So it's a chunky boy, which also meant it had a chunky price tag attached to it. Now, this should have cost me £30, and I got it from Waterstones, and because Waterstones have like an offer if you've got their rewards card, for every £10 you spend you get a stamp. Every 10 stamps you get £10, and so technically I only paid like $20.99 for this series. Or $19.99? It was $29.99. Take 10, so like I pretty much paid like 20 quid for this volume, which is kind of like the price of like the 2 volume omnibuses. So it was technically £10 per volume if you were to buy this for £30. And of course you have Takemichi and Mikey on the cover. And then you actually have like a few more coloured pages in this one. So like you have the beautiful coloured artwork in the middle, and then you have Sanzu, my boy. But yeah, so this is it. Tokyo Revengers ended at volume 31. And I now finally have the whole series sitting on my shelf. It's a bit of a sad time when like a series comes to an end, especially a series that like you fall in love with, because you kind of have to find the next thing that you're going to fall in love with. Just going to hold that up now because I found my new series to obsess over. But as I'm definitely getting older, I am turning 31 at the end of the week, actually on Friday. I'm turning 31, and yes, I do love manga and I love anime, but I'm at that stage now where if I'm collecting a series and I want to see it through to the end, the series has got to be worth collecting. And so Tokyo Revengers, I believe, is like only like the 5th series of like manga that I've actually completed. I'm looking at my shelf. I've got Tokyo Ghoul, I've got Ouran High School Host Club, Full Metal Alchemist, Fire Force, and now Tokyo Revengers makes up number 5. Actually no, number 6, because technically Polar Bear Cafe, that only had 5 volumes. There's another vampire series that the name has escaped me that had 5 volumes, so technically this is like the 7th series that I have completed, and I just think it looks very nice. Like I said, the ending for Tokyo Revengers is very controversial. How it wrapped up with, spoiler alert at this point, do I spoil it? Pretty much the whole point is he can time travel, and he keeps going back to the past, you know, to save his friends, to save his love interest, who they do get married finally at the end. Like him and Hina, they were end goals from the beginning. And when he goes back in time, he manages to change it so that when he goes back to the present, everyone is alive. Everyone that died over the run is alive. They're all living their best lives, and I'm like, okay, that's actually like really sweet. And I think that was like the intention originally, is how like the author was going to end the series, with him actually succeeding in saving everyone. Because in each like arc or like timeline where Takemichi goes back, people die, and then he has to go back and he has to change it again. And so by the end, everyone survives, and it's kind of hinted that, you know, a few of the characters actually do con on to the fact that he's time traveling, and so that's kind of sweet in regards. I wasn't a big fan when it was kind of revealed that some of the members actually were like, oh, you time travel. I wasn't a big fan of that, but I really like the ending, finding out what all the members did in the future. And yeah, it's just sad that the series has come to an end. However, they have finally dubbed season 3 on Disney. So, you know, I have rewatched season 3, which was the Tenjuku arc, which, chef's kiss, one of my favourite arcs in like an anime series ever. And Disney have announced, you know, there's going to be a season 4, so it's kind of nice that, you know, publish-wise, the series has come to an end. Yes, it already came to an end in Japan, it's now come to an end in the West, but the fact that the anime is still going strong. You've got the puzzle game, which I'm obsessed with, Tokyo Revengers Puzzle Rev. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm obsessed with that, so I'm kind of happy that Tokyo Revengers is still living on. New people are finding the series, and it's got an amazing like side cast of like characters, and the main guy, compared to the main in Windbreaker, everyone's like, oh, Windbreaker is much more realistic, like fights. Takemichi, a lot more grounded main character, and it's like, yeah, he has his own qualities, and he redeems himself, and he grows, so it's like potato, potato, tomato, tomato, chips or crisps. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, this just ends my March manga haul. I'm kind of sad, but at the same time, hopefully, you know, it's probably not going to be until like next year that we hear news on season 4 of Tokyo Revengers, but I just hope that it's as good as it's going to be. But yeah, this just ends my March manga haul. So there we have it, guys and girls of the internet. That was just my March manga haul. I hope you guys learned something about me and, well, my taste in manga and the variety of like subgenres that I like, because I am not fussy. I can be fussy when it comes to like TV and it comes to film. I like particular genres, but I feel like anime and manga, there is just so much out there that you've kind of got to absorb it all, and you can't just lock yourself into one genre. In the comments, if you've read any of these series, feel free to share your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any recommendations for me in the future, comments is the place to go, because I want to make videos that you guys want to watch. It's simple as that. Anyway, let's just wrap up this video before I continue to ramble. If you'd like to support me and the channel in the future, you can by clicking like to show me some love. You can click subscribe and tap that bell to be notified when I upload on this channel. At the end of this video, you can check out my last 2 videos or playlist, depending on what mood I'm in when I'm editing this. Until next time, I'm Beth. Keep reading manga. Goodbye.